I was on the outskirts of a little southern town, trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on channel 19 when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear." Well, I keyed the mic and I said, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end?" I told him my handle, and then he began. "Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off there. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk. 'Cause that's about all I can do.
What are you doing?
I'm crippled and I can't walk." I came back and told him to fire up that mic, and I'd talk to him as long as he liked. "This was my dad's radio," the little boy said,
Feels soft.
"but I guess it's mine and Mom's now, 'cause my daddy's dead.
Being out in the rain.
Dad had a wreck about a month ago. He was trying to get home in the blinding snow. Mom has to work now to make ends meet, and I'm not much help with my 2 crippled feet. She says not to worry, that we'll make it all right. But I hear her crying sometimes late at night. You know, there's one thing I want more than anything else to see."
Important.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you guys are too busy to bother with me. But you see,
Can't
my
touch your
dad used
belly?
to take me for
No
rides
belly?
when he was home. But I guess that's all over now since my daddy's gone. Not one breaker came on the old CB as that little crippled boy talked with me. I tried hard to swallow a lump, just wouldn't stay down, as I thought about my boy back in Greenville town. Dad was going to take Mom and me with him later on this year. Well, I remember him saying, "Someday this old truck will be yours, Teddy Bear."
Fan out.
But I know I'll never get to ride an 18-wheeler again.
Huh.
But this old base will keep me in touch with all my trucker
What are
friends.
you doing?
Teddy Bear's going to back on out now and leave you alone, 'cause it's about time for Mom to come home. But you give me a shout when you're passing through, and I'll sure be happy to come back to you. Well, I came back and I said, "Before you go, 1010, what's your home 20, little CB friend?" Well, he gave me his address, and I didn't once hesitate, 'cause this hot load of freight is just going to have to wait. I turned that truck around on a dime and headed straight for Jackson Street, 229.
Hook this guy up too.
And as I rounded the corner, oh, I got one heck of a shock. 18-wheelers were lined up for 3 city blocks. Well, I guess every driver for miles around had caught Teddy Bear's call. And that little crippled boy was having a ball. For as fast as one driver would carry him in, another would carry him to his truck and take off again. Well, you better believe I took my turn at riding Teddy Bear. And then I carried him back in and put him down in his chair. And buddy, if I never live to see happiness again, I want you to know I saw it that day in the face of that little man. We took up a collection for him before his mama got home, and each driver said goodbye, and then they were all gone. He shook my hand with a mile-long
Come on,
grin
outside.
and said, "So long, trucker. I'll catch you again." Yeah, I hit that interstate with tears in my eyes. And I turned on the radio and I got another surprise. Breaker 19 came a voice on the air. Just one word of thanks from Mama Teddy Bear. "We wish each and every one a special prayer for you, 'cause you just made my little boy's dream come true." I'll sign off now before I start to cry. May God ride with you. 10-4.
That's supposed to be like a
And
comeback.
goodbye.
Yeah, he didn't sing these songs.
That's,
These are country songs, I think.
So the cover.
Stranger on my own, in my mind.
Yeah, no, these are all his.
These are
Suspicious
all the
Minds.
songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Suspicious Minds, but these other
I recall the night that you came into this world. I couldn't believe the doctor
I found this
when he
record
said
once.
it's a little girl.
But it was all
Oh, I
scratched to
said,
hell.
now, Doc,
I've never seen
you
another
must
one.
be
I
wrong.
go in a
You
lot of
see, I
places.
want a boy.
This was down in Atlanta.
Then
Guys like, yeah, we got
he
country.
laid you in my
Because
arms,
it was all
and my heart
hip-hop,
sang with
a lot of
joy.
hip-hop and soul and jazz records. Country's on the bottom floor, though. On the bottom stand. I took a look. I was like, look at that. That's what I paid, though. They're not dollar records anymore. Good condition, though.
these records. I heard that somewhere.
I picked this one up because
A lot of
I'm
people were.
starting to listen to banjo music.
I recall
Grandpa
the
Joe.
day I took you to a baseball game. You brought along your baby doll and half its baby things. We sit there playing house while the Dodgers played the Braves.
There's the other great
And
one they got.
everyone in the bleachers looked at us as
Saw that
if
movie,
to
right?
say,
Bonnie and Clyde. So the music that was banjo music was played in there was by two famous guys, Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt. I've been looking for that record too. I'll see. There's a couple of places that'll take a record and put it on a CD for you.
I
Your truck got a
recall
CD?
the day I
Huh?
took
Your
you
truck have a CD
on
player?
a fishing trip.
The car does, the truck don't.
You said, Daddy, won't
So I said I
that
got
hook
that CD
hurt the fish's
with
lip?
all them songs on it. But,
And you said if
Can't
they
play it.
don't get
Huh?
air, those things
You need a
in
player.
will die.
In your truck.
So we turned the worms loose and
There's got
chased
a lot
some
in that 3 or 4 of
butterflies.
them songs that's got the other ones on there. Giddy Up Go. That's on there.
Little Joe, though. That's one of your favorites.
6 Roads on the Road. Phantom 309 is alright. That's pretty
That's a race car, right? Like a
good. Truck driver.
truck driver, yeah. You didn't put out too
I
many records
recall the day
that I looked it
that
up.
your
Maybe like
young
4.
man come to call. Seems like only yesterday we swam and played football.
I think that's right.
But I know the time has come that I must set you free. But no matter where you are, you know what you are to me.
Any one of these you want to hear before you go? I brought you over here to hear it.
Let's say 309 is a good one.
Let's put that on.
Is that on there?
Yeah, it's not on this one, it's on the other one.
Giddy Up Go, that's a good one. See, I might not know the, see, I know the songs, but I don't always know the name of the song. I know Giddy Up and Go.
Well, where did you guys hear these at? I mean, you had it on album?
Sarah used to buy records. She had every record we could think of. I don't know whatever happened to all of them.
Give it back to me, I'll just take this one. So, I guess,
Chrissy got me the tape someplace. No, I think Eric got that tape, cut that tape or something like that. I don't know what he got it off of.
you can always go to Amazon.
I think maybe that's what he did or something. I don't know. Give Me 40 Acres. That's another one. I don't know if this guy sung that or not. That's another good truck driving song.
That's on there?
No, it ain't on here. But I don't know if it's on. I don't know if this guy sings that or not. I can't think of who sings it. I can never remember this guy's name.
Red's pretty easy, but
Yeah, but I can't never remember that name.
Sovine or Sovine?
Yeah, Sabine, and I got the tape. But I ain't listened to it since we went stopped on the bingo. I sit
Pretty
in the car and
golden
listen to
hair.
my before bingo started. I'd sit in the car and listen to it.
Golden hair. I turned trembling to the receiver and heard a cold voice say that there's been a wreck out on the highway. And I knew that when I looked back, she wouldn't be there because it was an angel's way of saying our last goodbye.
You gotta get a record player and I'll give it to you to take home.
Shit. I'm gonna fuck my gun with
You got room.
that. Yeah, I sure do.
I was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and things didn't work out. I was down on my luck.
There's a lot of good truck cars.
Got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I started thumbing back east toward my hometown.
Yeah, it's not very popular anymore.
Made a lot of miles the first 2 days, and I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way.
You've been on your own.
But the third night, I got stranded way out of town at a cold, lonely crossroads. Rain was pouring down. I was hungry and freezing, done caught a chill, when the lights of a big semi topped the hill. Lord, I sure was glad to hear them air brakes come on. And I climbed in that cab where I knew it'd be warm. At the wheel sat a big man. He weighed about 210. He stuck out his hand and said with a grin, "Big Joe's the name." I told him mine.
But Nancy
And he said the name of my rig is Phantom 309.
That's what you sang, country.
I asked him why he called his rig such a name. He said, "Son, this old Mac can put 'em all to shame. There ain't a driver or a rig a running any line that's seen nothing but taillights from Phantom 309.
I can't remember her name. The singer. from
Well,
now.
we rode and talked
Yeah,
the
shit,
better
but
part of the night when the lights of a truck stop came in sight.
Poor as hell. Same as her.
He said, "I'm sorry, son, this is as far as you go, because I gotta make a turn just on up the road." Well, he tossed me a dime as he pulled her in low and said, "Have yourself a hot cup on old Big Joe." When Joe and his rig roared out into the night, in nothing flat, he was clean out of sight.
Oh, you like this guy's named Joe.
Well, I went inside and ordered me a cup. Told the waiter Big Joe was setting me up. Oh, you could have heard a pin drop. It got deathly quiet, and the waiter's face turned kind of white. "Well, did I say something wrong?" I said with a halfway grin. He said, "No, this happens every now and then. Every driver in here knows Big Joe. But son, let me tell you what happened about 10 years ago. At the crossroads tonight where you flagged him down, there was a busload of kids a-coming from town. And they were right in the middle when Big Joe topped the hill. It could have been slaughter, but he turned his wheels. Well, Joe lost control, went into a skid, and gave his life to save that bunch of kids. And there at that crossroads was the end of the line for Big Joe and Phantom 309. But every now and then, some hiker will come by, and like you, Big Joe will give him a ride. Here, have another cup, and forget about the dime. Keep it as a souvenir from Big Joe and Phantom 309.
I think I've heard that before.